that could also mean making the day count. Don't know why, but I thought I was, unless I wasn't. I thought I was videoing there, guys. I'm sure I was, but if I didn't, I'm saying it was Thursday, the 26th of November, mid-morning, 10:30. I've just delivered a 3-day course, so I just thought I'd have, well, lying. I was laughing. It's like an extra hour for me. I'll still get up mega early. Yeah, it was just quite nice to do that, and then come out now while it's blue and light. Well, I saw on my Facebook earlier on a quote from about a year ago I put up, which is don't count the days, rather make the days count. It got me thinking about, what does it actually mean, you know, to make the day or days count. For one person it could be, you know, being really busy, productive, having a long to-do list that they get ticked off, feel a real sense of achievement. For somebody else that could be something they do all the time and they feel like they're on a bit of a treadmill, so they might have a for their day to count, it could actually mean being really still, just being present to stuff, not necessarily doing a lot all the time. Morning. So it's about context as well, you know, what that means to one person, it obviously won't mean to the next. And it also made me think about the course that I just delivered. It was interesting that in terms of mental health, there were some activities that we're doing through the course around hope. There's 3 H's actually. I do some personal activities around for their own mental well-being: hope, help and happiness are the 3. And we then at times got people to share other things that enable them to have a stronger sense of mental well-being. They can strengthen their mental health and their resilience, and lots of things come up, including connecting with the right people, getting out and about, getting exercise, sharing with their key professionals, when they're, you know, not only when they're doing well, but also if they're noticing any early pressure signs. That can be another one. Being creative. A couple of people talked about, well, having instruments that they play. One person mentioned about playing in a band. Somebody mentioned about, you know, playing guitar. So lots of great things. But what was interesting was pretty much everybody at some point without fail talked about the impact of low self-worth, lack of self-belief, and, you know, coming back to the beliefs they have, and also the negative chatter that they have that goes on in their minds, that they tell themselves, and how, you know, at times hard that can be. You know, it can be a challenge to really focus on the positive, and it's it was just a common theme really throughout. And I just thought, you know, even if you, somebody mentioned I'd put cards and stones out with different words and stuff on, and somebody looked at dream and self-care and nurturing, which also goes hand in hand, I think, with the being kind and saying positive, kind things. to yourself, because I think that's another added piece. You know, a lot of people weren't necessarily that kind or nurturing to themselves. They often can be to other people, but aren't necessarily for themselves, and so ultimately at some point end up, you know, running out of steam, you know, running out of fuel. So in terms of making the day count, I think what became apparent is whatever else you know, your perception or your concept of what it is to make the day count, I think within that, focusing on some positive beliefs, positive talk about yourself and what you do have influence over, not what you don't. A lot of people have negative chatter over what they don't have influence over, and yeah, think about things that either they can't change or that may happen in the future that they don't absolutely know has happened at this point. And I think also, whatever else that day looks like, making the day count, I think if you can put things in place to nurture yourself, to be caring and kind to yourself, then I think not only will that make your day count, I think it will probably, most likely, it will influence and change actually some of how you deal with things, some of how you respond to others, some of perhaps of even the decisions you may choose to make based on whether you're caring enough for yourself and you're being kind enough in your thought processes to yourself as well. So that's what sort of strikes me about, you know, making your day count. There's so many other things that people might have that create that picture of, you know, making your day count. Yeah. So, oh, yeah, well, see you, Will. I have to say, it's so nice to actually be out in the blue. I've got so used to being out when it's sort of, you know, dark, just getting to light. But yeah, almost just having the little 5 or 10 minutes of thinking, oh, it's just about light enough now. Whereas, I mean, you can. We're going to say actually, as I'm videoing, you can see my shadow as well. So, and even though it's really cold and frosty, because I haven't come out of my usual, you know, sort of 6:30, 7 in the morning. It's now begun to defrost a bit, so you can still see that it's been and still is a little bit frosty. But there's actually some warmth when that sun's out. Some warmth to it, and I think the wind is also there's less of the wind as well. So I'm it's like this weather girl here. I talk about very typically British. So I conclude by talking about the weather. But hey, listen, talk about making your day count. I mean, I'll be, of course, it's our mindset that can affect and change how we experience anything. And the reality is when it's a bit warmer and a bit blue and a bit brighter, I mean, most people would probably say it makes them feel that little bit more upbeat, a bit more positive. So I am definitely making the most of making that day count today. So guys, have a great Tutti Frutti Thursday, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.